What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be predicting the top 30 NBA players next season. Let's go. Number 30, we have Bam Adebayo. Adebayo just came off a historic game last season, scoring 83 points against the Washington Wizards. Adebayo is usually an all-star caliber player. That is why I have him at 30. Next season, I have him averaging 19.6 points per game, 10.2 rebounds, 3.4 assists, 1.1 steals, and 0.7 blocks. Number 29, I have Trae Young. Trae Young was recently traded to the Washington Wizards at the deadline from the Atlanta Hawks, who he had been with for 7 years. Young is a prolific scorer that usually averages around 25 points per game. I have him at number 29, averaging 24.6 points per game, 2.7 rebounds per game, 9.1 assists per game, 0.1 blocks per game, 0.8 steals per game. Number 28, I have Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams was recently drafted in 2023, and he has been one of the best players on the Thunder, helping Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet Holmgren win the first championship in Thunder history. Last year, Jalen Williams dealt with injuries, but this year I think he will bounce back, averaging 19.4 points per game, 4.9 rebounds per game, 5.8 assists per game, 1.5 steals per game, and 0.8 blocks per game. Williams still has a bright future, and that is why I think he could be higher on this list in the future. But for now, we're going to put him at number 28. Number 27, I have the new Sixer, LeBron James. LeBron James may be in his last season, or it might be his second to last, as he signed a 2-year, $8 million contract. This season, I think LeBron James will still be one of the best players in the league, averaging 18.7 points per game, 5.5 rebounds per game, 6.9 assists per game, 1.3 steals per game, and 0.4 blocks per game. LeBron can still make a huge difference on this new Sixer team that is being called one of the greatest of all time. Number 26, we have Lauri Markkanen. Lauri Markkanen is a 7-foot beast drafted in 2017. In 2022 to the 2023 NBA season, he was the most improved player and led the Utah Jazz to the 2 seed. That season, Lauri Markkanen has been one of the best forwards in the game. This next season, I have him averaging 24.8 points per game, 6.7 rebounds per game, 1.7 assists per game, 0.8 steals per game, and 0.7 blocks per game. I think the Utah Jazz will be very good next year, and Lauri Markkanen will be the one leading the way. Number 25, we have Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray was the first All-Star on the Denver Nuggets, besides Nikola Jokic, since Carmelo Anthony did it in 2012. That's crazy. Jamal Murray had his best season last year, making a bunch of clutch shots and 2 50-point games. Next season, alongside Nikola Jokic and Aaron Gordon, I have Murray averaging 26.1 points per game, 4.6 rebounds per game, 6.9 assists per game, 1 steal per game, and 0.5 blocks per game. Jamal Murray has a bright future with the Nuggets, and I think they could go win a championship again. Number 24, we have Paolo Banchero. Paolo Banchero was the number 1 pick in the 2022 NBA draft by the Orlando Magic. Last season, he led the Orlando Magic to a Game 7 with the Detroit Pistons before eventually losing after giving up a 3-1 comeback. Banchero has been one of the best forwards in the league for the last 3 seasons. This season, I think he averages 24.3 points per game, 8.9 rebounds per game, 5.5 assists per game, 0.6 steals per game, and 0.6 blocks per game. The next 10 years, Banchero can establish himself as one of the best forwards in NBA history. At number 23, we have LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball was recently traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Naz Reid and a couple of picks. This was so surprising because the Hornets just had their best season for a decade. LaMelo Ball leading the way. He's paired up with Anthony Edwards at the Timberwolves, which could be the scariest duo in the NBA. LaMelo, being the point guard, will average 22.7 points per game, 4.6 rebounds per game, 7.3 assists per game, 1.3 steals per game, and 0.3 blocks per game. Before we go any further, make sure to subscribe, as it would really help us out. We're trying to get monetized before the end of 2026. At number 22, I have Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley is a defensive beast in the NBA. He won DPOY controversially in 2024 over Victor Wembanyama. Mobley has been one of the best bigs in the league since he was drafted in 2021. In this season, Mobley will carry the Cavs to a great record, averaging 19.1 points per game, 9.2 rebounds per game, 3.9 assists per game, 0.8 steals per game, and 1.9 blocks per game. Mobley has a bright future as a defensive beast in the NBA. At number 21, we have Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant has been traded in the last few seasons. He went from the Nets to the Phoenix Suns, and now he's on the Rockets. He led them to a 4 seed this year. But unfortunately, I think his career is going downhill a little bit. I think he falls to number 21 after being a top 10 player for the last decade. I think Durant will still have a great year this year and lead the Rockets to the playoffs. Unfortunately, I think his numbers go down. He'll average 25.4 points per game, 4.9 rebounds per game, 5.1 assists per game, and only 0.7 blocks and steals per game. At number 20, I have his former teammate, Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry, like Durant, is also getting older and will be retiring in the next few seasons. Curry is still one of the premier shooters in the league, if not the best still, but I do think that his production will slowly decrease. This season, I have him averaging 25.8 points per game, 3.9 boards per game, 5.2 assists per game, 0.9 steals per game, and 0.4 blocks per game. At number 19, I have the reigning Rookie of the Year, Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg is one of the brightest prospects we've seen for a long time. Cooper Flagg just averaged over 20 points per game in his rookie season, but narrowly beat Con Knipple for the Rookie of the Year. Dallas Mavericks took him at the number 1 overall pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, and it's been nothing short of a great pick. Cooper Flagg next season will take a huge leap, averaging 24.7 points per game, 7.1 rebounds per game, 4.6 assists per game, 1.2 steals per game, and 1.1 blocks per game, leading the Mavericks to a play-in or a playoff spot next season. At number 18, we have last year's third-team All-NBA, Jalen Johnson for the Atlanta Hawks. Jalen Johnson came out of nowhere the past few seasons. Last year, he was spectacular and led the Hawks to a playoff spot. Next season, I have him averaging 24.1 points per game, 10.5 rebounds per game, 8.2 assists per game, 1.1 steals per game, and 0.6 blocks per game. I see a bright future in him, and I think he can lead the Hawks to a high playoff seed. Number 17, I have Deni Avdija. Since he entered the league in 2021, Deni Avdija has been improving drastically, including a 41.12 rebound performance in this latest playoff series. This season, I have Deni averaging 25 points per game, 6.7 rebounds per game, 7.2 assists per game, 0.9 steals per game, and 0.7 blocks per game. The Portland Trailblazers have a bright future involving Deni Avdija. At number 16, I have Devin Booker. Booker has been a star since he entered the league in 2015, and he's led the Phoenix Suns to many deep playoff runs, including in 2021, where they made the finals against the Milwaukee Bucks, unfortunately losing to the best Giannis Antetokounmpo we've ever seen, who won Finals MVP. This next season, I have Devin Booker averaging 24.9 points per game, 3.6 rebounds per game, 5.8 assists per game, 0.8 steals per game, and 0.3 blocks per game. Devin Booker is still a premier guard in the league. He's just fallen off a little bit. 15, I have Donovan Mitchell. Like Booker, Mitchell became a star as soon as he entered the league in 2017. This last season, Mitchell led the Cavaliers as a 4 seed to the conference championship, where they played the eventual champions New York Knicks. This season, Donovan Mitchell will average 26.8 points per game, 4.7 rebounds per game, 5.5 assists per game, 1.6 steals per game, and 0.4 blocks per game. Mitchell can still carry the Cavaliers to another conference championship. At number 14, I have the Toronto Raptor, or maybe not, Kawhi Leonard. This past season, Kawhi Leonard led the Clippers to a play-in before unfortunately losing to the Phoenix Suns. Kawhi Leonard is still one of the best players in the league. That is why I have him at number 14, averaging 24.6 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, 3.5 assists per game, 0.5 steals per game, and 1.8 blocks per game. At number 13, I have Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton led the 4-seeded Pacers to the NBA championship in 2025, where they lost in 7 games to the 1-seeded Oklahoma City Thunder. In that playoffs, the Tyrese Halliburton hit 4 game winners, 1 in each series, including the most famous choke game winner against the New York Knicks in Game 1 of the conference championship. Unfortunately, he tore his Achilles in the first quarter of the Game 7, and the Thunder ended up winning that game. It is possible the Pacers could have ended up winning the NBA championship if he didn't get hurt. Season, I have Tyrese Halliburton coming off of injury and leading the Pacers to a playoff series, averaging 21.4 points per game, 3.7 rebounds per game, 9.6 assists per game, 1.5 steals per game, and 0.6 blocks per game. At number 12, I have Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown just led the Celtics to the 2 seed without Jason Tatum. However, he's going to the Philadelphia 76ers, where I don't think he will be the best player on this team. In fact, I think he will be the 3rd best player on this team next year. Next season, I have Jaylen Brown still averaging 23.7 points per game, 6.1 rebounds per game, 6.8 assists per game, 1.1 steals per game, and 0.3 blocks per game. At number 11 is Tyrese Maxey, another teammate of Jaylen Brown, who I think will be better than him next year. Tyrese Maxey has been improving ever since he entered the league in 2020. This past season, he and Joel Embiid led the Sixers past the Celtics in the first round, before eventually getting swept by the New York Knicks in the second round. This season, I have Maxey averaging 29.9 points per game, 3.9 rebounds per game, 7 assists per game, 2.1 steals per game, and 0.6 blocks per game. Starting off at the top 10, I have Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham led the Detroit Pistons, who have been bad for the last few seasons, to the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. However, they had a bad playoff series, with his teammate Jalen Duren playing really bad in the playoffs. They eventually lost in 7 games to the Cleveland Cavaliers in the second round. However, I think Cade Cunningham will be back next year, averaging 25 points per game, 5.8 rebounds per game, 10.3 assists per game, 1.6 steals per game, and 0.9 blocks per game. I think he has a bright future and eventually can be one of the best players in the NBA. At number 9, I have Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum played a few games with the Celtics last season, and eventually he ended up sitting out Game 7, where they lost to the Sixers. Tatum recently tore his Achilles in the playoffs against the Knicks. This season, I have Jason Tatum averaging 26.6 points per game, 8.2 rebounds per game, and 5.8 assists per game, while adding 1 steal and 0.2 blocks per game. At number 8, we have another 76er, Joel Embiid. Embiid has been recently hurt for the past few seasons, but in 2023, he won the MVP award over Nikola Jokic, which was kind of a shocker. Next season, I think Embiid will be fully healthy and lead the Sixers to the number 1 seed and eventually win the whole championship. Next year, I have Embiid averaging 28.8 points per game, 10.2 rebounds per game, 4.3 assists per game, 1.1 steal per game, and 1.3 blocks per game. Embiid might be back to his full health. We may never know until next year. 7, I have Jalen Brunson. This past season, Jalen Brunson led the Knicks to a 3 seed for the second year in a row. This year, they didn't lose in the conference championship. They went all the way and beat the Spurs in 5, including some insane comebacks. Jalen Brunson won Finals MVP, averaging over 30 points per game in the Finals. This season, Jalen Brunson will average 27.5 points per game, 3.1 rebounds per game, 7.2 assists per game, 0.1 blocks per game, and 0.8 steals per game. At number 6, we have Giannis Antetokounmpo. Last month, Giannis Antetokounmpo was traded to the Miami Heat for Jaime Jaquez, Kel'el Ware, Tyler Hero, and a few picks. He's going to be teamed up with our number 30 player on the list, Bam Adebayo, for next year. Antetokounmpo has won 2 MVPs in the past decade, becoming one of the greatest players to ever play. This next season on the Heat, Antetokounmpo will pile up 28.2 points per game, 10.3 boards, 5.4 assists per game, 0.9 steals per game, and 0.8 blocks per game. Number 5, we have Anthony Edwards. In the 2020 NBA Draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves selected Anthony Edwards out of Georgia with the first overall pick. He is not disappointed so far. In his career, he led the Timberwolves to a conference championship, and they recently beat the Denver Nuggets, who were one of the favorites to win the NBA championship, in 6 games, while being injured. Next season, he'll be teaming up with LaMelo Ball, which will be a very scary but a very fun duo at the same time. I think he will average 30.1 points per game, 5.7 rebounds per game, 3.5 assists per game, 1.5 steals per game, and 1 block per game. At number 4, I have Luka Doncic. Luka has been the best scorer in the league for the past few seasons, and he was recently traded for Anthony Davis from the Dallas Mavericks to the Los Angeles Lakers, where he's been teamed up with LeBron James for the past year and a half. However, with LeBron James gone, I think that the Lakers might take a step back. However, Luka will still have an amazing season. He will average 33.6 points per game, 8.1 rebounds per game, 7.9 assists per game, 1.9 steals per game, and 0.8 blocks per game. Number 3 is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. In the past 2 seasons alone, Gilgeous-Alexander has won 2 MVPs, a Finals MVP, a championship, and Clutch Player of the Year. That's crazy. He's also led the Thunder to the last 2 1 seeds. However, his recent MVP was a little bit controversial, as Nikola Jokic had a historic season, averaging a triple-double as a center. Next season, I think Gilgeous-Alexander will lead the Thunder to over 60 wins, averaging 32.9 points per game, 3.9 rebounds per game, 7.1 assists per game, 1.9 steals per game, and 0.7 blocks per game. Number 2 should be 6-time MVP, Nikola Jokic. Jokic has been the top 2 for 6 MVP races, but he's only won 3. However, I think he should have won all 6. Nikola Jokic has led the Denver Nuggets to an NBA championship while winning 3 MVPs, being the only all-star on the team. That's crazy. Next season, Nikola Jokic will average 27.1 points per game, 13.1 rebounds per game, 9.8 assists per game, 1.2 steals per game, and 0.9 blocks per game. He's the first center in NBA history to average a triple-double while leading the league in rebounds and assists per game. He's absolutely insane, but not number 1. On to number 1, I have a few honorable mentions. The first one is Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns is entering his 11th season into the NBA, and he just won an NBA championship with the New York Knicks. However, his production in the final game was not that great. He only had 2 points. I think his career will slowly fall down, and he ranks number 31 on my list. Another honorable mention that could have made this list is Alperen Şengün. Şengün has been one of the best bigs in the league since he entered in 2021. However, I don't think he makes this list because people like Bam Adebayo and Trae Young will be better this season. At number 1 is Victor Wembanyama. This entering his 4th season in the NBA. He's already won DPOY, the first unanimous Defensive Player of the Year, by the way. He's been 3rd in MVP voting. He's made an NBA championship with the Spurs, who had 2 Rookie of the Years in a row, and then the 2nd pick last year. He was one of the most hyped prospects ever, maybe even more hyped than LeBron James coming out of France. Next season, I think Wemby will average 28.3 points per game, 12.2 rebounds per game, 3.5 assists per game, 1.1 steals per game, and 3.8 blocks per game, winning MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button, turning on notification bells. Also, comment down below if you think I got this totally right or what you would do to make changes on this list. Thanks for watching.